your coming back date? When did they say that you could actually train in the gym now?
I could train whenever.
The next fight is the end of February. You can't train whenever. They said 3 to 6 weeks you can't do nothing. After 6 weeks, he could go back in the gym, and the fight is the end of February, the beginning of March. And it should be for the world title. Because we're in line to fight either Tank or Lucas Body that won the opportunity to fight for Tank belt. So one of them should be in.
Floyd Schofield. These guys, man, they seem to have no shame about the game of boxing. They seem to have no shame about the game of boxing.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
And Floyd Schofield, as we last spoke, pulled out of the fight with Jojo Diaz. I think somebody needs to pay Jojo Diaz, right? Jojo Diaz wants his payday. But Floyd Schofield, man, they finally react to the criticism that they've been receiving, the backlash they were receiving. Now, they seemed very nonchalant about this whole situation. Very nonchalant. Almost, I don't know. Check out what Floyd Schofield and his father had to say.
So fans going to say what they want. It's on them. I put all the proof out there. I can't do nothing. I feel God protected JoJo. I swear to goodness, JoJo is really spiritual, and I think God intervened and allowed JoJo to have a safe passage onto his next fight. That's what I think. Cause kid been in so many fights and never tore nothing in his wrist ever.
I work out my hands too.
Right.
Sit my rice.
So I say for that to be that much of a freak accident, God just helped JoJo. And that's because I'm on a spiritual basis. Everybody else could say what they want, but JoJo got a free pass. He's going to have a great fight against somebody else. And I hope we can fight him in February, but I think they got us fighting for a title in February, but I don't know.
Now, to hear what they had to say, they said that it was God that did this for JoJo. That God didn't want JoJo to get in the ring with Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin, because, well, it wasn't going to end well for JoJo. So they used this crazy, grandioso excuse for the fight not happening. And then he showed us the mosquito bites, right? We seen the mosquito bites. They claim they never got hurt in the camp. I mean, look, man, to me, honestly, this don't look like a guy that was really hurt. This looks like a guy that signed up for a fight, and they decided to pull out of the fight because, well, his handlers may got a better fight for him on the table. Just completely just wasting people's time. But see, this wouldn't necessarily be a problem if this was the first time. But this ain't the first time. This ain't the second time. This is the third time these dudes pulled out of a fight. So I'll be questioning whoever they supposed to be fighting in February, right? Whoever that is, you got to be wondering in the back of your mind, are these fools going to make it to the damn fight? Because historically, they got a history of pulling out of fights. For whatever reason, Floyd Schofield Jr. always finds some magical reason. And this kid looks like he's an able-bodied young guy. He looks like he's in great shape. How the hell you so damn injury prone? What happened, dude? What those 3 mosquito bites mean? You see, I ain't never broke none before, right? I don't know what that entails, right? I don't know what that looks like. What does those 3 mosquito bites mean, bro? Look, man, they say he tore a ligament in his wrist. To me, it don't look like they a team that's upset about not getting to compete, not getting to show what they've been doing this time. They don't look like they eager to show. This don't look like a team that's eager to get back in the ring, right? Like, this don't look like a team that's upset that they let a lot of people down, right? This look like a team that got told from the higher ups, look, man, we got something better for you. We go ahead and scrap this thing with JoJo and go ahead and give you something else, and we'll give JoJo something else. We'll pay him for his time, right? This could be some type of golden boy elaborate scheme. Well, you know, we don't want the JoJo fight. We go put Schofield in a better fight. But unfortunately, it's going to be this upcoming February. They talking about a world title shot. Now, what did they do to deserve a title shot? I'm not sure, right? Because they could barely make it to a fight, let alone fight for a world title. I mean, look, man, that's the last dude you would want to see as a world champion, somebody that's injury-prone like Derrick Rose. And I'm not saying that like Derrick Rose is a bum. Derrick Rose was a great talent, as we all know, except he was just injury-prone. And don't tell me you guys are these same injury-prone dudes out here talking shit about Shakur Stevenson and all that. And speaking of Shakur Stevenson, fan said Shakur Stevenson was one that twisted his wrist. That Shakur Stevenson twisted his wrist. Now, Shakur Stevenson was kind of playing into it a little bit, but he didn't say too much, right? Because Shakur Stevenson got other things he's worried about. But it says this. Somebody said Shakur snuck in his room while he was sleeping and twisted his wrist. And then Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin, reacts, "You both corny. Shakur, you don't want no smoke at all. We could set it up at 140, brave guy. March. What coward? Stop falling like you that guy. Who did you fight?" I'm confused, honestly. What that, I don't know what that mean. Maybe Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin, should let his dad, Floyd Schofield Sr., do all the talking, because this really didn't make too much sense. And if this was his attempt at doing some trash talk, he kind of failed miserably. It was terrible. Which mean you don't want no smoke with Shakur. See, the thing is, though, pulling out of a fight is one thing, and usually when the guys pull out of a fight, they postpone it and reschedule for a later date. But these dudes, they'll pull out of a fight altogether and scrap the whole thing altogether. Right? So what coward are we talking about? Because you were supposed to fight Shakur Stevenson, and then at the 11th hour, you was found in the hospital room sick. You know what I'm saying? You were supposed to fight the Sylvester kid, right? Ashton Sylvester, right? You were supposed to fight him. You pulled out due to a shoulder injury. You only 22, 23 years old. You having these shoulder injuries, these hand injuries, these heart problems. You got a lot of problems, bro. You sure you should be boxing? Right? Are you sure you should be boxing? Because you can't even make it to a fight. And if I was a fighter, if I was a young fighter, and I was in the rankings, right? I'll be like, man, I don't even want to fight this dude because he ain't going to show up to the fight. Is he going to make it to the fight? This is what I'll be saying the whole build up to the fight. Are you going to make it to the fight, dude? Y'all can do all that talking you want to, but are you going to make it to the fight? Because if I was a past prime fighter like Tevin Farmer, yeah, y'all make sure y'all make it to the fight. And I'm actually surprised you didn't make it to the JoJo Diaz. So this is why I'm alluding to the fact that it could be somebody from higher up telling them, look, man, we gonna play this game. You know what I'm saying? We gonna act like you hurt. We gonna go ahead and postpone this thing or scrap the whole thing altogether. And then we'll give you a world title shot this upcoming February, right? Similar to what they're probably doing with Sebastian Fundora, Keith one-time Thurman. You know, I don't necessarily believe that he got an injury all of a sudden, right? It seemed like when they got these, I don't know, right? JoJo Diaz is a fighter who, I guess you could say he's almost a journeyman at this point. It would have been a really good test for him, but he's a journeyman at this point. So it's not like a Fundora fight to where, okay, you're stepping up and, you know, you got hurt, you know, and it's not like that. And honestly, I think the whole Fundora situation is to one where the tickets just wasn't moving. And they gotta scrap the whole thing altogether, right? They had to move it or try to shuffle around a little bit because they wasn't selling tickets. That's just my opinion on that, you know what I'm saying? But for this, you pull out of the fight again. This is the third time. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that too often. Great fighters, right? For my time being a boxing content creator guy, and in my time I've been doing this, the great fighters don't be pulling out of fights like that, bro. I'm just saying. They just don't. Whether they got to end, you know, they just don't. You know what I'm saying? The really elite, great fighters, yeah, they may have injuries here and there, but it's not too often. You know what I'm saying? It's just not too often. The great fighters are not really injury-prone guys, bro. And if y'all out here crying wolf and faking these injuries, then that's not making you look good on neither front, because then you're lying. But if I was a fighter, I wouldn't even consider even fighting a dude. If I was Shakur Stevenson, I wouldn't even acknowledge these guys. I wouldn't even acknowledge them. Yeah, you can talk all the trash you want. You won't even make it to the fight, bro. You're not even going to make it to the fight. But look, man, it's nothing personal with the Schofields. This is just one of those things to where, look, man, y'all kind of keeping the patterns going. And what we do over here with Shooter Boxing, we keep track of the patterns, right? And the pattern with this dude is that he seems to pull out of fight every other fight. He's pulling out of it. So, yeah, that's just some of the latest news. They gave reasons as to what happened. They said it was God that did this, and they did this to protect JoJo and all this other stuff. So, yeah, man, look, that's just what it is. Floyd Schofield and his dad, if they trying to win fans, they're not necessarily doing a good job. But what they are doing a good job at is making themselves to be those guys that boxing fans just love to hate. And you could do well in boxing being that guy too. But yeah, man, tell me what you guys think. Is Floyd Schofield and his dad playing games? Is he really hurt? Or is he trying to just posture and maneuver for a bigger and better fight? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.